Ramadan Kareem. For much of the region, 2011 was a year of tumult and change. Some emerged from the Arab Spring with the opportunity to achieve freedom for a new way forward. Others, however, remain embroiled in the struggle for freedom from oppression and tyranny. One thing is painfully clear. The future remains uncertain and unpredictable. The relationship between ruler and ruled, government and citizenry, judiciary and executive, legislature and legislative power are just a few examples of issues that call for clarity and resolution. Two other aspects of the Arab Spring are also clear. Each country is undergoing a unique experience, and the transition that is taking place is not likely to reach its end state for decades, not in months, not in a few years. In this dialogue, I would like to focus on the experiences of three countries, leaving Syria as a separate dialogue in view of the daunting aspects of that transition. Let's start with Tunisia. To many, the Arab Spring began in Tunisia, and it has served as an inspiration and motivation for many citizens throughout the Arab world and beyond. Tunisia's parliamentary elections were conducted fairly and freely. The government, led by the Islamist Ennahda party in a very broad coalition, is putting the country on a moderate, constructive path towards economic and political stability. Tourism is picking up in Tunisia, although it has not recovered to pre-transition levels. Foreign donors and investors are launching new programs, but remain somewhat wary of the transition's outcome. Of particular note, a new constitution is being written that will solidify democratic institutions and maintain civil liberties. And perhaps most importantly, a genuine civil society is emerging and participating in the national political, economic, and social discourse. And yet, Tunisia's path is not without obstacles. Some accuse the Ennahda leadership of having a, quote, slow but sure, unquote, program to Islamicize the country, and that they turned a blind eye to violent acts committed by Salafists. Now, the security forces have to inspire confidence in the people that they are supposed to protect. The judicial system is overwhelmed by calls for justice for the victims of the old regime as well. On the economic front, young people expect that the transition will directly result in more job opportunities and greater prosperity. But the reality is that the Tunisian economy must produce 40,000 new jobs annually to put young people entering the job market to work. In view of the reluctance of investors and donors, as previously noted, and the economic and financial crisis in nearby Europe, it is difficult to see these jobs being produced. While Tunisia's outlook continues to look promising, the transition during the next few years may well be painful, requiring patience on the political and especially the economic fronts. Let's turn to Yemen. Yemen is split along regional, tribal, and sectarian lines. It is struggling to bring the disparate and often competing groups together for talks about transition amid a deteriorating security situation. The attack last month in Sana'a was particularly horrific. The oppressive policies of the Saleh regime left that country with precious few leaders having national appeal. Members of the old regime still retain key positions of power within the security sector, eroding trust in the new government. Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula continues to operate in the country, although their control of the south is eroding. The process of political transition has not yet delivered the benefits so many had hoped for. And yet, there are signs of progress. Many of Al-Qaeda's leaders have recently been captured or killed. The military is slowly but surely removing the last vestiges of the Saleh regime from its upper ranks. And yet, without international support and internal Yemeni unity, even these minimal gains might be reversed. For the longer run, addressing Yemen's profound socioeconomic problems remains essential to providing human security, political stability, and hope for the next generation. Water and energy shortages threaten to undermine the entire economy, while the lack of basic services in many communities leads citizens to question not only the commitment, but also the capacity of their leaders to meet their needs. The Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC, and the wider group known as the Friends of Yemen repeatedly expressed their readiness to help, but it is not clear that either they or the Yemeni government can match programs and resources to put Yemen on the path to socio-economic and political success. Now let's turn to Egypt. In Egypt, a new president has been sworn in amid hopeful signs, but also many challenges and dangers. While many see the new Egypt they hope for emerging, others remain wary of the shape that the new Egypt is taking. Forging a new Egypt, a stable, secure new Egypt that represents all the people, guarantees their civil, human, and religious rights, and provides for the economic opportunities young people, as well as all those who are now working or seeking work, aspire to, is a huge challenge that those who govern may or may not be able to achieve. As a new government takes office, it is still not clear how power will be shared by this government with the Supreme Council of the Armed Forces, the SCAF. The status and role of the Parliament also await clarification, and there are many other unanswered questions in the political, economic, and social arenas. The situation in Egypt is messy, but democracies are all messy. Bringing disparate and competing groups together in any democracy to solve societal problems is a difficult and slow task. Democracies require strong leaders who are willing to show a vision to their people and demonstrate the ability to translate that vision into reality. Democracies also require compromise, and this can be a painful experience for leaders of any interest group to accept. The key for Egypt now is to continue to make progress towards achieving the goals of the revolution. The world is watching. It will judge Egypt's transition by its ability to guarantee minority rights, popular participation in government, a stable foreign policy, and economic opportunity, especially for its young people. So what can we say about this Arab Spring? I have previously stated that the Arab Spring, or what I like to call a Middle East in transition, is in fact a long transition that may take generations before it is completed. The complexity of the situations in Egypt, in Yemen and Egypt, indicates the validity of that belief. It also indicates that solutions cannot come unilaterally. A successful Arab Spring will be one in which security, democracy, and prosperity are achieved. Though difficult and complex, I believe that the situations in Tunisia, Yemen, and Egypt are opportunities to achieve these goals. Leaders from around the NESA region can and should use multilateral action to bring lasting change to the region. It is my hope that you, the NESA alumni, can also provide some of the leadership necessary to achieve these goals. Thank you for your time, and I hope that this installment of the NESA Ramadan Dialogues has been useful and informative. As always, I look forward to your comments.
For further information or to comment or pose a question, please email NESA Communications at ndu.edu. Learn more about NESA on our website at nesacenter.org, on YouTube at the NESA Center channel, on Twitter at the NESA Center, or on Facebook, facebook.com/NESA Center.